Well, if it wasn't for U of H, I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't have had the career. I would not have had the career that and the opportunity that I've had in life, because it was here that I got all the tools to go out and achieve a dream. Really. Otherwise, I would have just been drifting around.
Some 40 years after he studied acting as a student at University of Houston, award-winning actor and humanitarian Dennis Quaid returned to campus to attend commencement 2013.
So, in the fall of 1973, I applied and I was accepted into the University of Houston as a drama major.
During the ceremony, Quaid was awarded the UH President's Medallion for his creative contributions as an actor and for his work with various children's charities.
And I found at this great university a purpose, a sense of direction in my life, and a belief that I could achieve a dream. My teachers, who were my mentors, specifically Mr. Cecil Pickett and Dr. Sidney Berger, they taught acting as a craft.
Before the ceremony, Quaid reflected on his time at UH.
I remember doing a scene for Mr. Pickett, and the first words out of his mouth were, "Of course you know that you failed miserably." He was very real, brutally real, and it inspired me. He said to go out and watch people. One of the great things about being an actor is you get to go through those doors and say authorized personnel only, and really learn about other people's lives and what they do. I've ridden around with the cops in New Orleans, from on the midnight shift from 12 to 6. I've been in the cockpit with Chuck Yeager. I've gotten my pilot's license.
Important for Quaid was that the university gave him a safe place to fail and to grow.
Where it's out there in the real world. They give you one shot, kid, basically, and it was a safe place, and it was also one where that had constructive criticism.
Later, Quaid says a big moment came during an extended visit to University of Houston shortly after Quaid had left Houston for Los Angeles and was struggling to find acting work.
I was coming back here and sitting in on class and. With Mr. Pickett, and I remember being in the office, and he had his back to me. He was getting his mail, and he said to me, "Dennis?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Why are you still here? Go back." And that stung a little bit, but he was right. Getting a first job was the first hurdle, which took me a year to the day of getting that. But it was really breaking away with the director Peter Yates, who really taught me about film acting and how to be still and how to just trust.
At this point, Quaid has now appeared in more than 70 feature films.
The movie that really stands out is I always judge them by the experience of making them, and The Right Stuff was my favorite experience of all time. Playing an astronaut and just everything that went with it. I grew up in Houston. I was in first grade when they brought in the television set when Alan Shepard was going into space. Gordo Cooper was my favorite astronaut. Houston was Space City.
Quaid now says returning to visit can be a little surreal.
A lot of the landmarks are gone. The streets still flood. First house I grew up in, they knocked it down, I think, a couple of years ago to make room for the mansionizing that's going on in Bel Air.
But Quaid says he's proud to see acting still being taught, quote, as a craft whenever he returns to University of Houston.
So many young people just want to be a star now. And the craft is what carries you through.
It was here that I was given the tools to achieve my dream in life. Now, yeah, I was lucky. But I also believe that we make our own luck. And a big part of that luck is being a student here at the University of Houston.
At the University of Houston, I'm Mike Garrity.